Hey everybody, welcome to our podcast here. This is my co-host. Her name's Faith. Say hello.
Hi.
And we are going to be reading some popular Reddit stories that I found on the specific subreddit, Am I the A-hole? Where basically people submit their stories and they submit their scenarios that they went through and they ask the community for feedback and their thoughts on it. So I did some scrolling and I found my 5 favorite to make it into this episode. So, because we listen to this stuff like on our own a lot.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to like give your own little opinions about it and be like, hey, so that's actually not okay.
Right. Well, because they're not always the a-hole because sometimes they're not the a-hole, in the stories, but
sometimes it's completely dependent on the people they surround themselves with. Mm-hmm. So I think it's also good that they have the ability to like reach out and be like, hey, so is this normal?
Right. And it's good that they post it and they want a second opinion on it and they want to hear what they have to say about it.
Right.
All right, you ready for the first one?
Sure.
All right, so the first one is, am I the a-hole for holding the door open for a disabled person?
Are we wanting like opinions right before?
Well, yeah, just think about it. So based off the title, how do you think it's gonna?
It's probably just how do I say this? Someone who's probably larger and disabled in that way, mm-hmm. and they probably took it offensive that like they don't need help.
Okay.
But that's my opinion on that.
All right, so let's get right into it. So I, the writer, who's a 20-year-old female, was walking behind this guy who was clearly struggling with walking with balance. He was walking very slowly, so I quickened my steps, got ahead, and held the door open for him. He said thanks, but I have perfectly functioning arms, you know. I tried to be polite and smiled it off and said there's no harm in a little extra help. And then he asked me why I thought he needed help. And then she goes, because you are ... And I was going to say disabled, but I luckily realized how weird that would sound and I stopped myself there. He raised an eyebrow and waited for me to finish my sentence, so I just said I was sorry. And then when he went more into it, he said he has cerebral palsy and it affects his walking, but not his ability to open a door. Then he told me that I should educate myself and left. I felt so embarrassed. Am I the a-hole?
No, because if she was already noticing he had problems, plus cerebral palsy. Anyways, plus with that, there's different levels of like how bad it is. So yeah, it could have affected his hands. And I understand the idea of, hey, I don't always need help. But if you were in a situation where like, hey, you're disabled and you might need a little extra help, I don't understand why you would want to usher people away for trying to be helpful, because it wasn't like malicious. It wasn't like she was going out of her way to be like, hey.
Well, she just went a couple steps ahead and then just hold the door open for him.
Right. So I don't think so.
Yeah, my decision is not the a-hole, and that was also Reddit's decision on this scenario, was not the a-hole. And yeah, I don't think that was an a-hole move at all. Because she was trying to help him out. She could see that he was struggling. She didn't know any of the backstory and didn't know any of the details. And just tried to offer a helping hand. So good job to her for trying to help out. And he should have just said thank you and kept going. Yeah. Any other remarks on that one, or?
Not really. Just that I think that it had to have been that he just wants the ability to do things himself, because I can imagine whenever you are someone who has disabilities or mm-hmm. like a condition, that whenever you get the opportunity to do anything on your own, that you'd probably really appreciate that and you'd rather not be coddled, because she said it's a grown man. Mm-hmm. Then there's probably some pride in that, of being like, hey, I can do things myself. I'm a grown man.
Right.
So I can understand his perspective, but I think he just was...
He might have just been having a bad day, too.
Yeah.
All right, going into the next one. The title of this one is, Am I the a-hole for taking a shower at 11 p.m.? So right off the title, I almost didn't pick this one based off the title, because I was like, I take showers after 11 p.m. all the time. Because if I get home late from like an event, or if I get home, or if I'm working real late, then I get home and I shower up at maybe close to midnight and then I'm But you shower like every day at exactly 9 o'clock, right? You have a very set schedule.
Yeah, I think part of that is just going into this will completely depend on what the environment is that the writer or the OP, like what their life is like, because I know for my family, I have some younger siblings, so it's like the later it is, it's loud. It's something that will distract everyone.
Well, because isn't the shower like right next to their room too?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So if it's a situation where like it's loud, they play music, they do this or that, like if they're singing, either way, it's going to be loud. And if you have thin walls, then it's amplified.
True.
So,
yeah. All right, getting right into it. I, who is a 20-year-old female, have chronic neck pain and a diagnosed panic disorder. As a part of my pain management and coping skills, I lay down in the bathtub and use the shower head against my chest. This is relevant because it helps me with both my pain and panic attacks. Additionally, I'm currently sick, and showering has been helping me with that as well. Tonight I took a shower around 11 p.m. when suddenly I heard a knock on the bathroom door of my roommate's boyfriend, who's a 29-year-old male, started yelling at me. He demanded to know what I was doing in there, and he called me horrible for taking a shower at 11 p.m., and he accused me of waking him up. This is especially upsetting because he knows about my pain and panic disorder, or when I got out of the shower, he started the argument again. He brought it back up. He brought up how we were supposed to be quiet after 10 p.m., which was something that was discussed in the house meeting prior to this. Also during that meeting, I specifically stated that I may need to take showers after 10 p.m. due to my health conditions, and everyone, including him, agreed with this. He dismissed this, accusing me of lying because it wasn't explicitly written in the house rules, even though he already approved it in the meeting. Throughout the argument, he kept interrupting me and became upset when I interrupted him one time. Eventually, I lost patience and just told him to shut up. At that point, he began mocking me, making fun of my dyslexia, and calling me the R word and saying I probably can't read, which is why I'm breaking the rules. He also accused me of lying again, claiming that I wasn't taking a shower, but I was actually trying to take a bath. He insisted that he could hear me lying in the tub. I tried to explain that I was showering, but he interrupted me again. The argument became very heated, and he accused me of bothering him with my problems and said that other people in the house are trying to sleep as well because, quote, some people have to work tomorrow. And this was a clear jab at me because I'm currently not working a full-time job due to the following of traumatic event. None of my actual roommates have ever complained about my late showers. In fact, they've actually encouraged it because they understand how severe my pain and panic attacks can be. So, am I the a-hole?
That's just insane.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
So, okay, hold on. Reverse. So he's not living with them. That's just the person's boyfriend?
Yeah, so the person who wrote this, it's her roommate's boyfriend.
Absolutely
who's
not.
complaining.
Absolutely not.
That's crazy.
No, because
That's
number
crazy.
one, you don't live there. You don't pay rent. All you do is sleep there, so you can leave. But also, if no one else has ever had an issue with it, why do we then have to do what you want?
Like change our regular schedule, and because she says that she's taken these showers in the past.
She said that her roommates
encourage it.
Yeah.
Like they say, like, look, you do what you need to do. We understand your diagnosis. We understand you have an issue. Do what you need to do, and it's fine. Because she takes quiet showers. She doesn't listen to music. She doesn't watch TV. She just likes the feeling of the stream on her chest, and I guess that calms her down or helps her with her sickness or something.
Yeah, I get that. I get the water and calming down because I know that it's just pressure. It's something that's consistent and it has a consistent sound. Yeah,
because I remember when I was sick, sometimes my mom would put like just some sort of liquid, like a healing liquid or something like that, and she would rub it on my chest area. I think it was for congestion, because then I had, like, when she rubbed like the cream or something like that on my chest, I immediately felt a wave of just clarity.
Usually that has to do with scents and just that it's cooler. But going back to OP, I think that's very silly.
Yeah, it's crazy I mean, look, if he was trying to sleep, maybe he had to be up at like 4 a.m. Regardless, he shouldn't have made it this big deal.
Also, why is he banging on the door? She's a grown woman. You're grown. Don't belittle people.
I'm saying.
How old are you? How old are you that you're going to start saying...
He was 29.
Okay.
And she was 20. OP.
So he is a grown man living with a bunch of young adults.
This whole thing could have been avoided. Because, I mean, I'm just going to assume that he had to be up early. I'm just going to assume that he had something on his mind. Maybe he had a bad day. Regardless, he should have just gently knocked on the door, said, hey, would you mind getting out? I got to be up in the morning. Like, could you cut it short for the night? Because I think that would be fine. Because
I think my biggest issue is how he handled the situation.
Yeah, because he's blown it way out of proportion.
Yeah.
And he should have just either sucked it up for the next, 30 minutes?
He got super aggressive for no reason. And what does it matter if she's taking a bath? Why are you in charge of that?
What's the difference there? I don't know why he made that.
Why does it matter?
I don't know why he made that like a thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, I'm going to say not the a-hole. The a-hole is
that's what Reddit
guy.
came to the conclusion as well. Not the a-hole. I should have gotten some people's comments on these. Because I'm just looking at screenshots, but I wanted to see what other people had to say to this. Maybe we can look at it later.
Perhaps.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Let's go.
All right. The title of this one is, Am I the a-hole for asking my sister to pay for a cleaning service after trashing my home?
No.
No? So okay. So then let's get into it. So to start, my sister is very wealthy, around $100,000 a year, and her husband is on $70,000 a year. She got inheritance worth about $2 million in properties from our parents. I, on the other hand, am a stay-at-home mom, and my partner lives off $50K a year. And we inherited was the houses they currently live in. It was much less than my sister's inheritance, but I don't complain much because it's somewhere we can live. Later on, my sister asked to have a party at my house because I live in a larger house and she has a flat. The condition was, I approved it, but they had to clean afterwards and her husband couldn't bring food as they'll order a pizza. Fast forward, they have completely trashed the house. They made food and brought food, which they weren't supposed to do, and left it. They used my expensive dishes and a cast iron and left it dirty and drank about $50 worth of my alcohol. I'm pregnant and my kid is due in literally less than 1 week and my house is effed. So I asked her to pay for a cleaner, and according to my family, I'm the bad guy for this. My mom says I should have specified them not to drink alcohol. I'm actually shocked. Apparently, because I inherited the house, that I should just clean it and deal with it. Now I'm just at a loss, and they're saying that I'm the bad guy, and they're saying that I shouldn't ask for the money back for the alcohol or the cleaning service. What do you all think?
No, because that's insane. She's literally about to pop. She's huge. She's probably going through a lot of late pregnancy.
You think no, she shouldn't ask to pay?
No, I'm saying she's not the a-hole, but I'm
Not
saying
the
like
a-hole.
her sister, is that who it is?
Yeah, that her sister and her husband were the one that drank a lot of alcohol and trashed the house and then left.
You just don't go through people's stuff, number one. And number two, to leave your dirty dishes with cast irons, you have to clean those differently. You can't just...
Well, she said that they used her expensive dishes and left them dirty.
Well, they also talked about a cast iron, though.
And that.
But I just think that's so disrespectful, including, like, she's late pregnancy. She said she's due in, like a week.
In a week.
She's about to pop. I bet you she's tired. She's exhausted. She's emotional. And she allowed them to come to her home. Mm-hmm. They drink her alcohol. They leave a mess. That is insanely disrespectful, right. Number one. And inconsiderate of the situation that your sister is in. If you are making...
There seems to be a sense of entitlement with it, too. Like... Because she seems to, I don't know what the word is, but like she makes $100K, her husband makes $70K, and they inherited $2 million from the parents. So I think there's a sense of entitlement because there seems to be the favorite sibling here. Because the only thing that OP inherited was a house, was the big house that they got. Yeah, I think that's super disrespectful. Not the a-hole. That's what Reddit said as well. But yeah, I don't think that she should ask for them to pay for a cleaner, and I'm sure that she just needs a break because she's pregnant. Like you said, she's ready. Like she's there, and I'm sure she probably wrote this like maybe even after the kid was born. I don't know, but
is there an update?
There is an update on this one. There is an update. Okay. So I think this is the only story. Yeah, this is the only one that does have an update. I was able to find the part 2 of this. So update. My mom now sides with me, and we cleaned up all the mess together, which I'm very surprised about. She's also angry with them because they asked her to pick up $40 in decoration that they now don't want to pay for. My dad still thinks I'm overreacting and I shouldn't ask for the money back. My sister has blocked me now after I asked for the money for the alcohol, which according to her is, quote, not kind. That's the end of the update.
So that's silly. I'm happy that the mom finally was like, hey, so this is, I'm siding with you.
It seemed the mom kind of came to it, kind of because I think at first there was a sense of a favorite sibling there because she was like, all right, look, it's your house. You inherited it. Just clean it. But yeah,
I don't like that, including the fact that now the sister's not paying for her own stuff.
Her own messes, her own stuff, and she blocked the other sister.
Which I think blocking and cutting off family, I understand in some situations, but in others, I feel that it can be dramatic.
Yeah. Because
of that's your family. And at the end of the day, if you're able to work through that, then you think about this. Now your kids aren't going to have any family members that they're connected to. They're not going to have any holiday parties. Right. So it
no second Christmas.
God. But yeah, so I think that's just, it's very, what's it called?
What?
Narrow, like nearsighted. What's it called whenever one-way track, like your tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. I forgot what tunnel vision was.
But yeah. All right, ready to go on to the next one?
Yep.
All right. Am I the a-hole for telling my neighbor to grow up and get over the fact that I painted my house a color that he doesn't like?
It depends on what color it is, because I know some neighborhoods have an HOA, but if they don't have an HOA, then it doesn't matter, and it's your house. Why is it? Mm-hmm. Why does your neighbor? That's also entitlement.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, an HOA is kind of like an organization in the neighborhood that sets the rules, basically. Homeowners Association, where basically they just tell the neighbors that what they can and cannot do.
It's basically just to keep the neighborhood like looking good,
just keeping it consistent.
They have rules for like trash,
right.
yards, just a little bit of everything.
Right. Yeah, so you ready to get into it?
Yep.
All right. So recently I bought a house in a community without an HOA. I wanted my home to be my home, and I wanted it to be special to me and make it look the way that I want. I also chose a neighborhood that already had fun and colorful colored houses instead of just the plain earth regular tones. I finally got to the point where I could repaint my house, so I picked a soft peachy color with sage and blue and a soft and dark pink accents. It was fun and colorful, but without being too out there. But my neighbor, Paul, he really hates it and has been complaining about it ever since we began the project. He also made his opinion known that he hates our front lawn, which has a lot of flowers, fun garden flags, etc. So just regular decorations. Each and every time I've told him that I don't care, really, I don't care, I've always suggested that maybe he would be happier in an HOA community that has control over everything and forces people into having earth-toned homes. Paul got angry and suggested that I said he's lived in his home for 15 years and he shouldn't have to go anywhere. I told him, okay, well, you have to learn to live with a little bit of color then. Last weekend, I was putting in pavers that my niece and I had painted together. They're all things like ladybugs, turtles, birds, etc. in fun colors. I adore them, and my niece is super excited that she can be a part of my home. As we were doing that, Paul came over to complain yet again, saying all of it was an eyesore. And my niece was here, so I just told him, it's time for you to grow up and get the F over what I'm doing with my house. This got him even madder and told me that I have no right to talk to him that way. I told him to just go away and get a life. If he has so much free time on his hands to complain about a colorful house, then he should probably get a hobby. He stormed off and called me a bunch of different names. My niece was cracking up the whole time on the side because of this. And for the record, no one in my family is uptight. We really don't care about cursing, and I know she probably says worse herself. She's 15, by the way, the niece. Anyway, one of the other neighbors came over to tell me that he's been talking about her and how disrespectful she is to talk to him like that. She told me that she knows he's a pain and that he's been in the neighborhood forever, so it's worth to be nice to him. I don't know. Is telling him to go get a life that big of a deal? Am I the a-hole?
No. Also, they specified in the beginning that there is no HOA. I don't understand why what someone else does with their house is any of your business. It doesn't reflect you. Also, with her having a bunch of stuff in the front yard, such as flowers and stuff, you can technically put that down as like a wildlife garden. Like where it's...
is that a thing?
Yeah, it's protected by the state because
Really?
it's like... since everyone's yards are now like grass, it's ruining like... starts with a P. Pollution, but not pollution. Pollination. It's ruining pollination for animals. So with people who do yards like that, they are protected. You can't do anything. You can't even put a sidewalk through it because technically it's like protected.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So she's helping the environment, number one. Number two, I understand how that can be like a little unnerving, like a little bit of like an eyesore if it's like unkept. But at the same time, not his yard.
Yeah, and she said she kept it like very neutral colors. I'll put a photo up on screen of what the colors she chose were, because like they were a very calm, like they weren't bright colors. She said it was like a soft peach, a soft blue, dark pink, like.
I think that's just silly. I think it's silly to be so consumed with people around you and what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, just you do you. You know, you can have your plain toned house, whatever. Let me have my colorful house. Like, just let me be.
I don't understand why it matters if he's lived there 15 years.
Well,
he tried to say that.
Well, he was saying that because I've been here 15 years. I shouldn't have to move because you're new here. But at the same time, there's no HOA. She can do what she wants to do. This is not it is not that deep. Yeah. It's really not.
Not that deep.
Yeah, so Reddit said not the a-hole, which I agree with. I think she should try to come on good terms with him. I think, because when I had to rewrite like a good chunk of the story because of how much like F-bombs she dropped in the story. So clearly she uses a lot of bad language. And I just think that maybe she should come to better terms with him, you know, maybe see what she can do to get on good terms with him. I can imagine this Paul guy is older, but it's not an HOA. There's no like, so I mean, I just think he should get over it, and just be fine with the fact that there's different houses. I mean, that's what I have to say to that. Yeah, you agree?
Yeah, I agree. There's not much else to add. I feel like you covered that.
Got it. All right, so this is the last story that we have, and this is probably my favorite one. This is the juiciest that I could find.
Juicy.
It's the juiciest that I could find. All right, here's the title. Am I the a-hole for letting other people take me and my kids to Disney World when I knew my husband was not okay with it?
Can I stay anonymous? Like I don't have an opinion on this one yet.
All right, well then I'll get into it. All right. I, who is a 25-year-old female, have a husband named Corey, who's a 28-year-old male. And we have a son together whose name is Grady, and he's 6 years old, and we have a daughter named Nina, who's 5. We are not by any means a wealthy family, but we do all right. We don't have to worry about things like not having food on the table or losing our apartment, but we rarely get extras like new toys or eating out. Whenever we go out with other people, my husband never lets them pay and insists on us paying for them, even if they have a lot more money than us. Even when my parents offered to do small things for us, or if they got us anything, he deemed it too much and would not let us accept it no matter what it was. He hates the idea of us having any hands out at all and gets very upset about it. We've argued about this a couple times, but since he clearly cares about it, I just tend to go with it. Fast forward to now, last week was Grady's 5th birthday. We typically do family things on his real birthday and have a party on a different day. But since Corey had work, we decided to have the party on his real birthday. He wanted to invite everybody in his class of 23 kids, which I thought was a great idea. He was super excited and worked very hard to plan and set everything up for his class. About an hour into the party, no one had shown up yet. Grady was very upset, but then someone finally did come. It was a girl from his class named Simon and her parents. I knew who they were. We were on friendly terms, but we weren't really friends. Grady was happy someone had come, but he was still very upset that none of his other friends came. Simon's parents and I got to talking, and since no one else had come, they offered to take us all to Disney World together. We live about only an hour away from Disney World, and we've never been before, but this family goes there quite frequently. They offered to pay for everything, and when I tried to deny it and said it was no worries and it was too much, they insisted and that it wouldn't be an issue. So I eventually agreed. So that day, all of us went to Disney and spent the day there. Everyone had a great time, and it definitely saved Grady's birthday. When Corey found out later that day, he was furious. He told me that I was in the wrong for letting them spend too much on us. He's still mad at me and thinks I should let him take responsibility of our finances because I've proven to be untrustworthy. I feel really bad for what I did, but at the same time, I think it was a good call to save Grady's birthday with Disney World. Am I the a-hole? You look so confused right now.
I think that's silly. Once again, that's silly.
Yeah.
They offered to take. They said they could pay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so it wasn't. Why does she need to get permission from her husband? Sure, he has the whole idea of, when we go out and hang out with people, I want to pay because he thinks it's like a courtesy thing for him.
Respect, probably.
Yeah. But at the same, like, it's a pride thing too, I bet. But also, why does she need to get permission from him about what she decides to go and do? She didn't spend any of their finances. They offered to pay. They probably ended up bringing it up because they go all the time.
Yeah, there was no downside for this family. Like, there was no negative part of it.
Literally all it did was help create memories. And now I bet that they're probably going to be pretty good family friends.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're still tight.
So I don't understand why he turned it into such a negative thing. And I also really don't like how he was like, oh, well, you've proven to be financially
untrustworthy.
That's belittling. Once again, that's belittling. I don't mess with that.
Yeah, so when I first read the title, I was like, ooh, that's a big no-no because we're in Missouri. And if we wanted to go to Disney World, we have to spend a lot on flights. We have to spend a lot on hotels and food. But after I read it, these guys are only an hour away and they're really close. And the Simmons family, they go all the time so that they know the layout of the park and they insisted it's not a big deal. So I think it shouldn't be a big deal. It should, because if they brought it up and they insisted on paying for everything, then it wasn't a big deal and they would have a good time with it too. Then I don't see where the downside of that would be.
I think that was just from reading this could just be me psycho, being insane and analyzing it way too much.
Okay.
But it sounds like he wants to have almost complete control over every situation because he wants to pay for everything. Then he's super upset that she went off to do her own thing, acting like she can't be trusted.
With both of their kids.
With both. They have 2 kids. Did I miss that?
Yeah, so they have Grady, who's 5, who was the birthday, but then they also have a daughter named Nina, who wasn't brought up in the story.
I forgot about that. But yeah, so he's trying to control that. And is he the only one providing?
I don't know. I don't think that was
brought up.
I don't think that was specified.
Okay.
Yeah, so the only thing they say is that they're not a wealthy family, but they do fine enough to not worry about food or losing. So they did say they have an apartment.
Okay.
So it's a 4-person family with an apartment, So I assume, they said they're doing fine, but they don't have to worry about basics, but they don't do anything fancy.
Okay. It's that, but then it's just that it sounds like he lacked the ability to just be like, hey, I'm upset that you did this. And his way to deflect off that was to immediately blame her and re-bring up something, I guess, that happened in the past, that she's not financially trustworthy. Maybe. But it wasn't even like she spent anything. If she did spend anything, I guess it would have been on food, maybe, if the other family didn't pay for it.
Maybe like a $30 meal. But yeah, so Reddit said not the a-hole, which I agree with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think he's trying to control everything, like you said. Like, he's trying to be in charge of all of their finances, which, I mean, I could kind of see an okay with that if she was a stay-at-home mom, but I feel like she would have noted that if she was. Yeah, and in this situation, definitely doesn't prove her untrustworthy, because she wanted to do something nice for Grady's birthday.
I'm pretty sure she even said no at first, right?
Yeah, she did. She insisted. She said, no, I don't want to. That's too much. Don't worry about it. We're okay with this party here. But then the family still insisted on it, and then they went.
Situations like that is whenever people, like, relationships like that is whenever people get into the bad situations where they are trapped, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And so I could totally be overanalyzing this, but like, I just think that that's wrong. I think it's wrong that he's so aggressive about it. I think that it's not okay for him. I understand why he could be upset, but part of that is she's a grown woman. She's
a mom. Like,
she literally
she's been one for like 6 years now.
No, I just think that's silly. All she wanted was to give her son a good day, because he obviously was bummed that he invited 22
yeah,
kids.
He invited the whole class, but only Simmons, the girl, showed up.
Yeah.
So any of those last remarks for our stories? What was your favorite one? We had the disabled person opening the door with cerebral palsy.
That was underwhelming.
Yeah, and then we had the Disney World one that we just talked about.
We had the shower one.
And then the cleaner one.
Oh, I forgot about the cleaner one.
And then the house painting one.
House painting.
What was your favorite? Or I guess like the juiciest story.
I would say the last one.
Yeah.
Because you could just totally tear apart that story and how she's writing about it.
Yeah. And I really wish there was an update on that one. I checked, but there wasn't.
Yeah. I was a little concerned when we started reading the house one, because my grandpa's name is Paul.
Oh, that's
and I was
funny.
And I was like, wait, they live in like a very muted neighborhood.
Let's go to his house. Let's see if there's any colorful houses nearby.
I know. So it's a very muted neighborhood, but also they don't have an HOA. And she said that he's been living there for 15 years.
How long has he been living there?
What? Before I was born. So maybe 20. But like, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so wait, is this actually?
It's time to give a call to Grandpa. Let him know he's on Reddit.
Just call him. That'd be crazy.
All right, yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. If you guys want to see more of this, I can totally find more Reddit stories. Or if you guys want to see certain other subreddits for us to react to or talk about, then please just let us know. Thank you guys for watching. Had a good time.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun.
That was a good time. All right. Bye, guys.